Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to episode 6 of Playing with House Money on the Toilets to Titles Network. I am Ice. You can find me on Twitter at Iceman_1013. And this is my co-host DJ Prue at PrueBaby10, aka the Live Bet King. How are we doing today, bro?
We're doing good today. It's a good day to be great. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, indeed. Especially after, I say a week off. It's not really been a week off because we had some good Friday, Saturday action. So it's not been a full week.
It's felt like it. I'll tell you that much. It definitely felt like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this weekend was nice. Or last weekend was nice. Luckily, we made the most of it before the All-Star break.
Yep. I say you made the most of it. A couple of absolute bangers.
You didn't have much to work with, though. You didn't have much to work with.
Nah, that's true. You're being nice. You don't have to be nice because it's my birthday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 21's nice, huh?
21 is nice, man. Means I can actually gamble legally.
Yeah, right.
In this country. Might head to the casino.
Yeah, we just, we kind of swipe that to the side.
Yeah. No, I mean, we don't need to go into age. Age is nothing but a number. Young forever. Episode 6 title.
You're only as young as you feel.
That's what they say. And little snippet of information for you. Have you ever seen the Young Forever music video?
Probably like years ago when it came out.
I'm in it. I mean, okay. They filmed it at Alexandra Palace. Him and Mr. Hudson on his Blueprint 3 tour. Last night of the show. Straight facts. Actual facts. Look it up.
Huh.
They filmed the video. Watch the video back. It's basically the last night. And I was there. I'm in the crowd somewhere when they performed it. You don't actually see me.
Oh, that's crazy though.
Like I've never been able to pinpoint. Can't pause Vivo and be like, yeah, that's me right there. But I'm in the crowd, and the video is basically the end of it is the performance, and so that's my one.
That's a crazy fame. That's a crazy fun fact. I feel like I would have heard that by now. That's crazy.
I've been saving it, man. Been saving it up for you for this right now. Today.
There we go. Yeah, so hopefully this weekend's more of last weekend, especially right out of the gates.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope for lots of these winners. But remind everyone, for anyone that's not in the Discord, anyone not in the Discord, what did you hit last Friday and Saturday?
We had a plus 2,400 4-leg total bases play. It was all two plus total bases. Juan Soto, Corbin Carroll, Freddie Freeman, Ryan McMahon. Juan Soto actually cashed it late with a double. And honestly, dude, Juan Soto's gotten me a lot in his career. And he came through, and I'm really happy he did. He really started the weekend off right. And then Saturday.
It's just funny that the Padres guy was the one to cash it for you after how nice you've been to the Padres as an entire organization in the first 5 episodes that we've done.
It's funny. I think it's a DJ thing because like Daniel Jeremiah, the NFL guy, I guess he's like really against them too. He has like a bunch of tweets against them, and earlier in the week he was like, "I've deleted all my Padres tweets. The All-Star game break has like convinced me they're good again," and it's just like that's. Hopefully I don't jump too far in, but it is funny that it's ironic that it was him, especially because however many times I think he's gotten walked for an at-bat that I need a hit on, like it has to be double digits easily. It's easily double digits. So it's just painful when I see he's the last leg, but I mean, he is Juan Soto, so luckily I caught him on the right night.
Yes, sir.
Saturday was, I know we had Saturday.
So
Saturday was
almost Friday.
Oh, right. Yeah. Saturday was almost insane. like really, really insane. 2 legs short of a plus, what was it, 19,000 or something like that? Yeah, plus 19,000.
Yep.
We had a lotto that we round robin. It had to be on DraftKings because they don't let you. I guess they don't let you like round robin the same way on FanDuel or like other books.
No, we will record our round robin tutorial at some point and go into that. But yes, FanDuel do not allow you to round robin in the same way as DraftKings do, and that played into our advantage this weekend with the fact that you could round robin what you did, and it was a combination, right? You had hits and total bases in there, and
we had
round robin. The singular games count is in its basic form. The every leg in the same game counts as one leg in the round robin, and that's the bit that FanDuel doesn't allow you to do. It will count every singular leg as an individual, but you can't combine the same game.
Right. So like it's essentially it was essentially 4 small SGPs that ended up getting round robin as one leg.
Yeah.
Each SGP is 1 leg. So the unfortunate part was that we had 1 leg into it was 4 total, so 8. I think it was 9 legs. I think we had one hit in there just to kind of boost the odds for that game, but the rest of them were 2 total bases, and then 1 guy in 2 of the games ended up being 1 short, but luckily we round robined, smacked it by 2, and then we actually had a 3-leg that night as well. It was a 4-leg that ended up one of the guys didn't start, but those 3 legs hit. That one was smaller, obviously, because it was only 3 legs, but I think it was still like plus 950, plus 850, something like that in that range.
Yeah, plus 9, just over plus 960.
Yeah. But that one came easy. I mean, that one came pretty quick. That one was probably the one that was not stressful for the weekend. But we were really close on Saturday for that big one. I mean, you're talking 1 more total base, you get the buy 3 and the half of the buy 2 payouts, and then those 2 more total bases, just one from each guy. I mean, we're looking at thousands. $10 would have $1 would have got you 1,900.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
So hopefully, like with the break that we've had for All-Star game, home run derby. Congratulations, by the way. I will tip of the cap to you, sir, for just being left at pick 4 with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. But it kind of just fell to you. You didn't really pick it.
And I said, and what did I say right before it? I said, I have to do the smart thing.
Yeah.
And take Vladdy, because I don't know how the hell I got to this point. And it worked out. The first round, I didn't think that I had I didn't even think Vladdy would win it after the first round, to be honest with you. And then, I got lucky. Shout out to Julio Rodriguez, though, breaking that record first round. That was crazy. Yeah,
and then he had the chance on Tuesday, right? In the All-Star game, he was up. Was it bottom of the 9th? He was up. The potential only had someone on base. If he'd have hit a home run.
Oh man, could you imagine that stadium?
Won it that would have been crazy.
Oh my goodness!
It would have been a very nice kind of iconic home stadium, full circle kind of moment if he was able to do it. Some of us had taken the underdog in the National League though, so weren't too disappointed.
For sure, they were due.
They didn't do it. They were. I mean, that team. When I saw the team come out the day before on the Monday afternoon, I was like, these guys are plus money underdogs. When that's the batting lineup. I know. It's All-Star game. Both batting lineups are solid, full of hitters.
Well, yeah, and I mean the last 25 years. I mean the NL it's a handful of wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean it is. At the end of the day, I mean the past does kind of have to play into it a little bit, but the plus 102 was crazy. To get plus money for either of those lineups is crazy.
Mm-hmm. But so I mean, that was last weekend. This weekend we're back. We've had a nice, like you say, 4 or 5 days off, worrying about it, or you have at least. But we'll be back, and we'll find out more in a second, but if you want to find all of our articles, support the Toilets to Titles team, join in any mock drafts as we're coming towards the football season, find it at toiletstotitles.com. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe for all of our content, all of the Toilets to Titles team's content. Some of the guys are coming out with some really good stuff. Lots of individual player profiles, team profiles. As we get towards the season, it's you definitely need to be on there. If you're listening on Apple iTunes or however you listen to your podcasts, throw us a review. Always appreciated. If you throw a 5-star review in there, then the Toilets to Titles team coach is going to look out for you. Throw you maybe a free entry into the Frankenstein Listener League. Throw you some Toilets to Titles goodies. And lastly, if you do want to interact with the team, me and DJ, anyone else from the Toilets to Titles team, then let us know. Follow us on the Twitter at PW_housemoney, or either of these two at Iceman_1013 or at PruBaby10. Reach out to us. You can join the Gilded Chat, similar to a Discord. There's different channels in there for lots of different things. Playing with House Money has a channel. All of the NFL guys have their channels. And there'll just be lots, as we get closer to the season, lots of excitement building, lots of drafts going on. There's a Scott Fishbowl draft ongoing right now. I'm actually drafting in that live in Manhattan tomorrow. So that's going to be pretty cool. We've got the Frankenstein Listener League coming up. That draft's going to be pretty insane. Me and DJ are in the same division for that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We have an Olympic champion joining us. He's joined and is in our division. So that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to join in on any of that, just reach out to either of us. Let us know on Twitter. Comment, do whatever, and we'll get you in there. But like we said, looking forward, we've had a few days off.
Yeah, far too many, but these guys needed it.
Yeah, for sure. What have we got to look forward to this weekend?
Yeah, we got plenty. I've been losing my mind all week, so boredom has set. But I mean, going into the weekend, we've had a lot of. You can tell a lot of these guys were gassed before the All-Star game. I mean, some of these guys have been gassed for weeks, realistically. So I'm really excited to see how a few of the guys, come out, especially a couple of the guys that were active earlier in the week. So I'm sure you'll see some type of rust from some guys. So, I mean, it'll kind of be you want to really pick your plan, your places, and kind of stick to them. So for that reason, I am going to keep stuff particularly low. I'm thinking anywhere between like 3 and 5 legs. I'll probably have another lotto after last week's success, but it won't be anything. There won't be a ton of them. But with that being said, for this weekend, we do have some oddball matchups. I feel like it's kind of one of those things that the MLB eases into. It's also a good weekend that you can kind of just throw those random matchups and get them over with. So one of the main matchups I'm looking at for sure is going to be Cleveland Guardians against the Texas Rangers. Obviously, Texas just had 6 All-Stars on Tuesday, so I'm not really sure, how much rest I guess the managers are going to consider those few days and whatnot. I don't foresee any of them really sitting Friday or Saturday, but you'll see them. You'll get all 6 All-Stars for that lineup through the weekend. Then Cleveland was hot, man, the last couple of weeks. So there's a lot of guys on there that have done well. Josh Naylor's been on fire all year. Stephen Kwan has been a little bit hit or miss, but the total bases have been pretty solid. Jose Ramirez, same with him, but you could see as certain games they'll get in their groove, and I mean they're good for almost just about any bet. So then we're obviously going to have the regular Rangers that have been going off. I mean Duran, Seager, especially those two for sure. I like Leody Taveras a lot. He's very sneaky with the odds. They give him really good odds all the time, but he's a 300 batter. So I never really understand that, but hey, if they like it, I love it. So they can keep giving me those.
He was in both of those bets last weekend, right? There were 2 of the 3 winners he was in. Yep. Tavares was in.
Yes, sir. He and right away. I'm pretty sure it was either his first or his second at bat. He cranked a double. So yeah, it worked out. I mean, he's done me really well all season. So I'm really looking forward to that matchup. For that, there's just so many legs you can choose from. You can really make a couple plays off of just that game. Kind of an odd one. I like the Milwaukee Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds. Obviously, Cincy, fun young team. We've talked about them numerous times. And then Milwaukee has a couple players you could stick with, and then they kind of shock you every once in a while when they put a bunch of runs. But I really like Owen Miller. I really like Christian Yelich. I like betting on both of them. So with having Cincy and all that handful of guys that you can really choose from and pairing them with one or two Brewers, I really like that. A couple teams you don't really know what you're going to get out of them are facing each other as well. You got the Padres against the Phillies, and then the Orioles against the Miami Marlins. So Miami, you have obviously a guy you can bet every day in Luis Reyes. But then outside of that, you really got to know what kind of rhythm the rest of those guys are in. But there is value there for sure. So with those four matchups, I'm really excited for. And then of course, I wouldn't be right if I didn't shout out my boys. The Sox play the Atlanta Braves this weekend, so I will likely be drinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I'm sure Friday, like today, will probably cease. I think Morton's on the mound for Atlanta, and then the rest of the weekend, you kind of really don't know what you'll get out of the Sox. But hey, it's going. All that means is Acuna, Olsen, Riley, Albies, Murphy. Or no, you can take your pick. Take your pick. You can pick anybody on Atlanta this weekend, and I'll tell you that you're right.
Yeah, sounds like one of those where we need to take all the top four in the Atlanta order,
right?
Total bases. Just have a
and don't let Michael Kopech be on the mound. If Michael Kopech is on the mound, I might take like 4 Braves homers and parlay all of them, and then just run each of them straights or something like that. Like, I am literally haunted by that San Francisco Giants game that he had early this season, that I'm just expecting another one. So yeah, if he gets on the mound against the Braves and they're in rhythm, yeah, definitely you'll see some home run plays from me for sure.
Talking of home run plays, tonight, lineups pending. Let me stipulate. I am playing just a little home run treble. Isaac Paredes, Cody Bellinger, Ezekiel Duran. That's the home run treble.
Yes,
Once you guys put those 3 in your bet slip, I'll let you work out why that's my treble. But that's the treble. It's the birthday treble.
And it's the perfect, I was going to say, it's the perfect day for that one to smack. And I like Isaac Paredes too. I've played him a lot this year.
Yep. Yes, sir. No, I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. I know you said there's a couple of, it's not just my birthday weekend. I don't have 5 days off work and all that stuff. But, yeah, I mean, this weekend looks, like you said, it's a strange one, but it looks like there's definitely some good matchups in there. There's definitely some money to be made for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah,
one.
these are the matchups you like. These are the matchups you like. They're weird. Like, they make you kind of scratch your head when you first see them, but once you see the value, you only need 1 or 2 guys. You need 1 guy from each game, realistically. And when the good teams have pretty good matchups, I mean, you should be able to grab one. So, yeah, I really like my spots this weekend.
Sounds good. If you want to support the team, if you want to join the Patreon, make sure you check it out. Patreon.com/toilets to titles. It's $1.50 per month for base level entry. You get entry into the Gilded Chat that we've talked about, guaranteed entry into the Frankenstein Listener League that we've mentioned. Plus, you get to interact with not just Pro and myself, but the entire Toilets to Titles team about anything fantasy football related. So don't miss out on that. Saturday in the MLS is going to be home team day. I've said this for the last couple of weeks. You know, I spent the first few weeks of the season kind of gambling on some away teams. Realized that the books rarely get it wrong. They favor the home teams because these teams don't like to travel. But this weekend, there's a ton of value in some of these home teams that I liked anyway, that aside. So, yeah, I mean, you could quite easily parlay 6 or 7 of the home teams on the MLS slate on Saturday night for wins for over 2.5 goals. And I'd say that you've got a decent chance. The main ones that I'm looking at here: Atlanta United at home to Orlando, St. Louis City, best team in the league, at home to Inter Miami, and Austin at home to Sporting Kansas City. So St. Louis, you know, I have talked about them, you know, the real deal in the league this season. Continue to prove everyone wrong. Inter Miami continue to prove that they need Messi and that they're garbage without him. I mean, they drew last weekend, but they still conceded 2 goals. And that's all we're going to need out of St. Louis this weekend is 2 home goals. And St. Louis have scored 2+ in 7 out of their 11 home games this season total. So they're in pretty good home form. They've scored 10 in their last 5 home games. And Miami's away form is garbage. They conceded 9 in the last 3. They conceded 3 versus New England. They conceded 2 versus DC United. We had that last week. That yes, they drew the game, but again, DC United not the best team in the league. St. Louis with their home form as is. The odds we're getting there -188 kind of talks to the fact that St. Louis is expected to get a few goals there. My ice pick of the weekend is Atlanta, though. Just for the value that we get on Atlanta to score twice in this game. They, at home, have scored 2+ goals in 5 straight. 14 total in those 5 games.
Oh, wow.
Orlando away conceded 3, the same as Miami. Conceded 3 away to New England. Conceded 4 away to Real Salt Lake in the last couple of weeks. And we get plus money on Atlanta to score 2, who, like I said, they've scored 2+ goals in 5 straight home games in the MLS. And you're giving me plus 106 for Atlanta to do the same at home to Orlando this weekend. So that's my pick of the weekend. The 2 of them plus Austin. Austin have scored 10 in their last 5 home games, 3+ in their last 2. Sporting Kansas away, back-to-back 2-2 draws against Houston Dynamo, which isn't a bad result. Houston have been pretty hot at home, but also against LA Galaxy. LA Galaxy, not the best team this season. In fact, I borderline kind of, they're one of my least favorite teams in the league. They did cash me a nice in-play bet last weekend. But yeah, I mean, Austin at home, going with my boy, Sebastian Driussi, to bag at least 1. And again, huge value on this Austin team total. For them to score 2, it's plus 112. So for for those 3 teams, 3 home teams to score 2+ goals, the treble was plus 570. So that's just, huge value there for me. And then we have a few others that you could throw into the mix. Some combination of, I love to fade Toronto as much as I love to fade Inter Miami. They're away against Chicago. So in your neck of the woods, Toronto have conceded 11 in their 5 away games. So that one really is a fade. That's a complete fade of Toronto, because Chicago at home have only scored 7 in their last 5. So they're not the best. But like I said, that one's more of a fade of Toronto. The same can be said for Minnesota against LAFC. LAFC have been horrible recently, just on both ends of the pitch, conceding goals and not scoring them. Even with some of their best players playing. So LA have conceded 2+ in 4 out of 5 away games. And the other one, they conceded 1 against Sporting Kansas. So again, huge value on Minnesota to score twice. That's plus 140 for 2 goals for Minnesota in that game. That's just huge value. And then we have the New England Revolution. We've already mentioned them a couple of times. Put some goals past, both Miami and they put some goals past. Who else did I say? Sporting Kansas City at home. They're at home to DC United. New England have scored 2+ in their last 4 home games. Scored 11 in total in those 4. And DC have conceded 8 in their last 5 away. They let Toronto put 2 past them. They let Atlanta put 3 past them. And again, it's double your money. New England, that one's a pretty solid bet for me. Of the ones I've mentioned here in that second tier, New England Revolution at plus 100 for 2 total goals is great value. And then Philadelphia at home to New York City FC. They've scored 3+ in 3 out of their last 5 home games, and 2 and 3 in both games against New York City last season. Minus 125. That would be the other one. Like if I was going to extend the treble to 4 and 5, it would be New England Revolution, Philadelphia, and then you're looking at Chicago, Minnesota to add to that list. But make any combination of those home teams, and you'll be good. The 2 outside bets for the week, again, big plus money bets. Looking at home teams, these games, I'd probably rather favor the both teams to score. But going with my theme, the home teams, Cincinnati, we've talked about their home form, 2+ in 6 out of their last 7 home games. They're playing Nashville though, so that's the concern, right? Nashville's one of the best form teams in the league, but their form is all at home. They've lost 3 on the bounce away. And they've conceded a goal in each of the last 8 away games. So Cincinnati definitely score 1, I think. I like the both teams to score, but we get plus 124 on Cincinnati to score a second. And then the last one is just a throwaway kind of, if I'm doing it, then I might as well go all in and take all the home teams. Montreal against Charlotte. Last couple of weeks, they've kind of fallen off the wagon. Like in July, Montreal have not been great. But before that, they were cruising at home. 6 wins in a row. They've back-to-back not scored in their last two home games in July. So that's obviously a concern. Charlotte, though, again, like they weren't great to start the season. They drew both games in New York. They played FC and the Red Bulls. But they have conceded 2 away. They conceded 2 against in that Red Bulls game. Drew 1-1 against New York City FC, but they did concede 2 against DC United. They conceded 2 against Toronto.
Oh, wow.
These teams that we know aren't great.
Right.
They conceded 2. And again, we get some decent value on Montreal here because of the form that they come into this game on at plus 128. So again, I like them for a goal. Will they get 2? It's obviously gamble. I hate to say that, but it is. But yeah, 1 plus 128 for that, I think is great value.
That Montreal leg is risky.
Yeah. That's why it's the last one on my list. Like that's the one. Like if I'm really going all in, then yeah, it's super risky, that Montreal one. I think the others I'm all fairly comfortable with. Like if you parlay the 6 of them or whatever it is, might even be 7, possibly. Like
I was gonna say that just means there's a ton of value.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the case. I mean, the form's all over the place. Where we're playing like 2 home games and 2 away games, like you have to take into account the total form of a team. Like if a team's playing away from home and winning games, and then they're back at home, but they lost their last 2 home games, like they found some form on the road. Now they're coming back home. You'd assume that they'll be a little bit stronger. But yeah, like you take into account that. But again, some teams are just, and again in this league, teams don't travel that well. So if you do find a team that's good on the road, chances are they're going to be pretty decent at home, and that's likely going to be one of your top teams in the league. So the likes of your Cincinnati's, your St. Louis, like those guys that are going on the road, they're going to lose every so often because obviously nature of the game. But yeah, we're at that point of the season where we're coming up to the MLS All-Star break within the next few weeks. But yeah, like really at that halfway point of the season where who's doing what,
right.
and where we can take some strong value, like I said, in those first 3, the Atlanta, the Austin, the St. Louis, and then yeah, I mean mix and match. You can round robin the other guys, like I said, like with some value there, the likes of certainly the plus money legs, Minnesota, right. Montreal, Cincinnati, all at over plus 120. You can round robin those 3, and if 2 hit, you're hitting a plus 400, and if all 3 hit, plus 1,000. So you can definitely throw some of those legs into an RR with the likes of St. Louis or Philadelphia at the less than plus 100. So that's what I'll be looking at. But again, more on that will be in the Discord on Saturday. Hopefully, I said I'm going to be in the city on Saturday live drafting. So don't know how active I will be, but I'll definitely be posting some stuff, making sure everyone's got that on the Saturday afternoon. And then obviously when lineups drop, we'll get some goal scorer bets in there and hopefully cash 2 or 3 of those as well.
Hell yeah, looking forward to it, my guy.
Should be a good weekend, man.
And happy birthday to you.
Thank you, sir. We hopefully have a few birthday winners that we're celebrating this weekend across the board. Can't wait to smack Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That would be very fitting for this weekend.
Yes, payday sir. I got you. Well. I got you.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you're on the YouTube, like and subscribe. Can't say that enough. Any questions that you've got, if you're failing us on the MLB, on the MLS, any other sport, if you're betting Wimbledon, if you're betting the golf this weekend, let us know. At PW_housemoney. As always, though, good luck with your bets, and we'll be back next Friday playing with more house money.